Well, before there was when Harry met Sally, there was when Josie met Dudley, a young lady from Tasmania, meeting up with a gentleman from South Australia, and hence one of the greatest dynasties in harness racing was born. The Justice family have dominated and been very influential for many, many decades. I caught up with a fourth generation of this famous family in Ewa Justice. Well, Evan, lovely to catch up with you. I catch up with you on a winning note. Hatchback successful at Melton on Friday night, trained by none other than John Justice, well driven by his daughter.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was really good to get the win on him while Dad's been away up in Queensland with Mufasa, and we've been holding the fort up at home, me and my auntie Jodie and a few others that have been helping out. So yeah, it was good that we could get the win while he's been away.
Your first Menangle experience looking to the drive?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. The track is just unreal, and it's something I think if you haven't driven there, everyone wants to experience it, so I am really looking forward to it.
How was the feeling when you walked into the stables and they're named after none other than the great horse behind us and also next door to him as well? He won the Dual Miracle Miles in Smoking Up.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to think about everything like Lance and Smoking Up have achieved and at this track, and to think that it's named after my family and to walk in the barn. Yeah, it's definitely a big honour.
We're going to talk about the family. It all commences with your grandmother Josie and your grandfather Dudley.
Yeah, I never met Dudley, but Nana, she was unreal. She was probably the best Nana ever, and she was probably the hardest worker. She was always striving for that good horse, and you know, Hatchback was actually the last horse she ever properly owned. So to win on him is still really heartwarming as well.
Reading her about her ever, she was a feisty, determined, and very successful woman.
Yes, that she definitely was. You know, she strived for the best, and like I said, was one of the hardest workers ever, and was definitely a big inspiration to me. She never actually got to see me drive, but she was there for my trials, and she was definitely a big drive for me, and she'd always watch the trials and would talk about it, and yeah, without her I don't think I'd be where I am today.
I don't suppose the ladies of today, the great names of harness racing in Emma Stewart, Karen Manning, Kate Gath, list goes on, and all those ladies that have followed would be enjoying the success they do today if it wasn't for the foundations that your grandmother laid many, many years ago.
Yeah, definitely. For women in the sport, it wasn't always easy, and for people like Nana, you know, they had the balls to go out there and go out there and do it even when they weren't meant to. And you know, like we were speaking about, she got caught one day because she had her cap and it fell off and her hair fell out, and they were pretty much chasing her off the track, and without them we wouldn't be here today. And it's just a thrill and a buzz, and it's an even playing field out there now, so it's great.
Yeah, that incident you talk about back in the days at the Melbourne Showgrounds, ladies weren't allowed to drive track work, but she showed them that she could and would.
Yeah, that's right. She wouldn't take no for an answer, I'm sure, and it's led us where we are here today, and yeah, it's just great.
Sadly, she passed away in 2022 at the very wonderful age of 91, and right up until 90 years of age, she was still working for Dad.
Yeah, that's right. She actually passed away on her birthday, which not many people will probably have done. And yeah, she still had our old horse High in the Sky in work with Dad, and up until her very last day, she was still asking about the horses. So yeah, it was just what she lived and breathed till the end.
John was adamant that you were going to follow in the family business. You were reluctant. Why was that?
Yeah, I guess I just never really fully thought about it as a career path. Just when COVID hit and I started driving track work a bit more, and you know, Dad sort of just said, well, you're driving track work, you may as well continue it on. He had faith in me, and I was umming and ahhing about it. I guess I was just worried. You know, you worry about, I guess, what other people think to a point, but you know, in the end I just had to give it a go, and I did, and I'm very happy that I have, because I wouldn't have experienced many amazing things if I didn't do it.
Yeah, you had 4 years with the mini trotters.
Yeah, I had a little mini trotter, a little Shetland. She was probably a reason I didn't want to get into it, because she was very slow and would gallop all the time. But, you know, she got me into it. I learnt the ropes on her, learnt how to steer on her. So, yeah, I had a little stint in the mini trots, but not much.
And your good friend Stacey Carbone, who's here with you tonight, she was also an influence to get you as far as lighting that fire underneath you during that COVID period.
Yeah, she was. Seeing her drive, seeing her drive at home was a big push for me. She was driving my favourite horse, and I decided I wanted to drive him as well. And you know, she's just been such a good friend. Like, she's been with me everywhere. Whenever I go somewhere, she's there with me. So I couldn't ask for a better friend, and I probably couldn't say I would. She's another reason I'm doing what I'm doing, and I probably wouldn't be here without her either.
Looking further afield than just harness racing as being part of your life, you're a student at La Trobe University. What are you studying?
Yeah, I'm in my third year at La Trobe studying social work. I'm enjoying it. It just gets hard juggling driving and studying, but we're getting through it and I am enjoying it.
As far as Dad is concerned, what's been the biggest lesson learned? What's the biggest influence that he's had on your career?
Just to sort of, every drive you sort of learn something different, and we've learnt that together. Like every time we sit down and watch a drive, what I could have done differently, even if I think maybe he could be being a bit harsh, I still always listen and take the criticism, because at the end of the day, you've always got room for improvement. So just talking to him and talking through races and watching him drive even, and yeah, it all helps.
What a career he has had, and you certainly weren't around when he started off with Tip Top Prince. I had the pleasure to know and interview your dad way back in the days when Tip Top Prince was going around. Of course, then Safe and Sound and Shaker Maker. He's just been associated with some champion horses.
Yeah, that's right. He's had some super, super horses, and to hear about it, could only wish that I was back then to experience them all and to hear about it. And even now, to have a horse like Mufasa Metro and just be experiencing that with Dad, it's just a massive thrill. And yeah, just to think about the career he's had and the success he's had, it's quite amazing.
And then we move on to Uncle Lance, and what a career he's had. As we mentioned, 2 Miracle Miles were smoking up, 2, and they both went back to back, Sokiola, plus all the other fabulous horses he's had throughout his outstanding and exciting career.
Yeah, like people go their whole lives chasing horses like that, and to think that he was able to have 2 practically at the same time and to win 2 Miracle Miles in a row, it's just things that people dream of. And to think that like my Uncle Lance, he could achieve that, and Dad achieving what he did with his horses, like it's just when you think about it and really put it into perspective, it's kind of unheard of in ways, but yeah, it's pretty cool.
It must make you very proud to see that the influence of your dad and your uncle, how much they're respected here at Club Menangle with the different exhibitions.
Yeah, it's amazing just to walk through and see the exhibitions and all the history and just learn about it a bit more. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Then we throw in Jodie and Joanne, your 2 aunties. They've also been very successful.
Yeah, my auntie Jodie, she's probably the backbone of our stable. Without her, we'd be lost. And she doesn't get much credit because she doesn't drive or train, but without her, we probably wouldn't be having as much success as we are having, especially while Dad's away. And yeah, she's one of the backbones.
We build on the dynasty with Lance's daughter, Leilani. She's also going exceptionally well.
Yeah, it's great to see. I love to see any girl out there, especially my cousin Leilani, and she's doing a great job too. And to see her out there having success and carrying on, like Nana, if she saw us both out there racing, she'd be so proud. And I'm also sure Nana would be here with me tonight.
You were to score your first win for your dad with another in the end, then your first Group 1 win would have been bittersweet as far as you were concerned, the whole family in modern bliss as far as the Tasmania Cup back in Tasmania where this whole dynasty started.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, really, when I thought about it. And after the line, I just remember thinking of her, and to think that I could achieve that, it was just a feeling I don't think you'd understand unless you've felt it. But yeah, that was just amazing, and to do it back in Tassie, and I know for a fact that if Nana was around, she would have been there with me, and just to do it, it was just amazing.
Well, Eva, the harness racing industry owe a great deal of debt to your grandmother and your grandfather. It's been a wonderful ride so far, and hopefully you will continue on this marvellous tradition.
Thank you very much.